Hey, before we get started with today's episode, we do want to shout out our friends, quite simply our family. Howie's Market. Howie's Market is owned and operated by some of our closest friends in this business.
Some would say some of our best friends.
Some would say. We would say.
It's been said many times that these are our best friends.
Mike and Kirsten Nolan and the whole crew there, such amazing people with such an amazing boutique grocery store right there in San Gabriel. We don't have any notes because we don't need any ad copy for Howie's Market. It's just an incredible grocery store that has the best meat, the best seafood, best butcher in all of LA, everything that you need for everyday groceries, fresh produce, top shelf spirits. And on August 24th, boy, already a month ago, we threw a party at Howie's Market, and you had a chance for the first time to walk through that grocery store.
It's unreal. I mean, talk about just feeling the nostalgia in a place, the style of the coolers and the way the aisles are and the way the products are curated, but the meat department, and that's always the roots of any grocer, right?
Yeah.
Is show me the meats. And Alex's Fine Meats, I'll tell you what, they had it all. And I just wish they were closer to me because I would be going to them a lot more often. But if you can't visit Howie's Market, just do us a solid and show them that these ads are working and that supporting a small business is worth it in this day and age. Give them a like, give them a follow, suss them out, go check them out. Howie's Market, San Gabriel Boulevard. You love to shop it.
You do. And as Ryan said, follow them on Instagram if you can't make it up there. If they are in your neighborhood, don't look now. It's just about October. It's just about time for the holidays. It's never too early to think about your Thanksgiving dinner.
Great point.
This is a true story. I used Howie's for my Thanksgiving dinner last year. We all heard about the honey glazed ham, and the sides were amazing. So if you're anywhere around,
and they do it for you. It's all
done.
It's all done.
You just go pick it up. And
place the order and pick it up.
If you are a Nation person and you tell them, they will cut you right to the front of the line. Now, I wasn't told to say that, but I guarantee if you say you're from Nation, they'll put you in the front of the line. This is a line so big that CBS 2 put it on TV last year. That's how popular Howie's is. That's how good they are. That's how awesome their reputation is. I used them for Thanksgiving last year. I will use them again for Thanksgiving this year. You should too. Thank you to Howie's. If the only thing I need to look at on my notes is the address, it's 6580 North San Gabriel Boulevard, San Gabriel, California, 91775.
See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, with an apology to the ladies off the top because there will be a lot of golf talk on this one.
How many ladies do you think we have?
My wife, Thomas's wife.
I think my wife quit listening.
She did. So that's two.
Lindsay, God bless her heart. She's a devout listener.
She is.
To the fellowship.
Devout Christian as well.
Yeah.
And wishing her nothing but health and happiness in the final stages of her pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to welcome everybody to the fellowship. Thank you so much for listening. And off the top, if you're watching on YouTube, it was bound to happen. One of these days, we were going to show up wearing the same shirt. And we have. What I want more than a different shirt right now is a pillow. You know what fat guys do when they're sitting down is they hug a pillow. Covers up their gut.
Oh, yeah, nice. You know those guys you grew up with that call them pillows?
Oh, man.
And cranes? You're like, it's a crayon.
Right. Mayonnaise.
It's not a crane.
It's not mayonnaise. It's mayonnaise. And it's milk, not milk.
Milk. Yeah.
Kills me.
This is, yeah.
You didn't have anything there?
Yeah, I did, but, had Martin Luther King in it and trying to save the show. Milk, MLK. Don't worry about it.
I won't.
Shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Big shout out to the doc. Folks, I've got a lot of notes on my cell phone. This is how it's going to be from now on. I'm no longer going to script the show on Sunday night. I don't have the time, and I don't want to do it anymore. I want to continue enjoying this podcast. So here's what's going to happen. The show's going to be a little bit looser. I'm going to make some errors. I made some errors.
Fucking thing sucks.
Made some errors 2 weeks ago.
Doing it live.
You might hear the words and which
Who cares?
have tried to become allergic to. Who cares is right. I don't care anymore. We're doing the show, and this is the show that you're going to get. I'm going to look at some loose notes on my phone, and that's it. You can choose to keep listening, and I hope that you do.
Oh, shout out. A little shameless promotion here, guys. A lot of you have been asking, what's that cigar holder on your mic stand? It's our little magnetic Smoke and Tom cigar holders. You can do different gauges. You know, they slide right in. You slap these magnets on the golf cart thing. Great thing about these is we sell them to people, and they use them one time and lose them, and then they got to come buy another one. Even better news, they're back in stock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Great.
got these back in stock. We're so good at business and marketing that no one knows they're back in stock.
Yeah.
But I did change the stock on the website, so we've sold one.
Really?
Call that an organic sale.
Really? Nice. Great to hear. So if you want a cigar holder for your golf cart, we sell them.
And you love to hold it.
And if you do a podcast and you have a mic stand, you can get one for
So
your
be
mic
it.
stand.
Hey, I like how I finally fixed your mic stand and I can see your face.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying some Circle K coffee this morning. Love dropping into the Circle K. We don't have them in Fullerton, but there's one right down at the bottom of the hill here in San Clemente.
That must be the wateriest coffee of all time.
No,
It's water.
it's the coffeeiest coffee of all time.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You know what the trick is? I did it this weekend at my men's ministry retreat.
Uh-huh. What?
The coffee was watery. You know, it's cooking for 200 guys. You know, you're gonna get a little bit of that cafeteria vibe, you know, where things are, you know, rationed. And so are the coffee grinds, right? So you put the grinds coffee pouch in while you drink the watery coffee, kind of takes it up a notch. So would you like me to go get you one?
A Grinds coffee pouch?
Yeah, do you know what those are?
Yeah, I do. I actually got on the Grinds before you.
I don't think so.
Grinds is a great alternative to either chewing tobacco or using Zyn.
Yeah.
It's a nice little pouch that gives you the oral fixation of having something between your gums and your lip, and it's packed with caffeine. And you actually ordered the Grinds pouch that has double the caffeine.
Yeah, times 2.
50 milligrams of caffeine per pouch.
How much is in a cup of coffee?
I don't know. But you went to a men's ministry retreat this weekend, and when I hear that you needed to turn water into coffee, it invokes a miracle from back in the day. And then when I hear about rations, it invokes another miracle about feeding 5,000. So did no one pray over the coffee grounds?
No, but one of the second to last sermons we had in the morning during the pastor's prayer after his message, he threw in like a very cheeky dig on the, all right, guys, let's hurry up. Let's go to prayer and let's get some breakfast and have some more bad coffee. And everyone's like, oh, like laughing on. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Pastors get probably 10 times the laughter on jokes that normal people get.
Yeah, because you're like, these guys aren't real. They're celebrities. They're way smarter than me and way more spiritual, and they're not real. Like, I can't be like, hey, good one, bud, and like slap him on the ass. You know, you're like, nice to see you. You know, like, why am I acting like that around this guy? And then so when they tell a joke, you're right. It's like, oh my God, he has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you love to hear it.
You do. You love to hear jokes from pastors. Let's jump into the show. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup.
Can't wait. Can't wait to talk about it.
Just be honest with the audience. You didn't see a lot of it.
Technically speaking, I didn't see any of it live. I saw some live scoring, and I saw some recap.
And I would argue that in today's day and age, you don't necessarily need to see something live on television to end up seeing all of it by the end of the day if you turn on your phone, because most of it was packaged up and put out in social media clips, at least the parts that people are talking about.
Right.
Whether it was big made putts by the Americans on the final day or Shane Lowry clinching it to get at least the tie to retain the cup, or all of the abhorrent behavior from the crowd at the Ryder Cup this week at Bethpage Black in Long Island, New York. I would say that the crowd is definitely the story. I also think, as I'm doing this off the top of my head, that we have reached, and this is the silver lining of it all, I do believe that we have reached the tipping point. Because what I was seeing in the comments was a universal denial of wanting to continue to go down this path. Normally, you have these accounts like Barstool and Zaire and PGA Memes who traffic off of putting this kind of content out and then encouraging the celebration of this type of behavior. You and I have referred to it as the Peter Pan syndrome, where grown men want to stay boys. They want to refuse to grow up.
Saturdays are for the boys.
Yeah. And we tend to think that some knucklehead getting drunk and relieving himself in his own pants is something to be applauded instead of something to be alarmed by. However, this week at the Ryder Cup, I saw a universal rejection of this type of behavior. And I thought to myself, at least the masses seem to be coming around to enough is enough. And that to me is the quintessential definition of a tipping point, because similar to the Waste Management Open, which experienced their own tipping point in 2024, the Thunderbirds, the organization that puts on the Waste Management Open, promised sweeping changes, and I believe we saw a more tamped down version in 2025. Still nothing that I would ever want to go to, but
yeah, they at least tried to step on the flaming bag of shit at their doorstep.
There you go.
Rather than just letting it burn.
Yes. And I don't think we're going to see an escalation of bad behavior from what we saw this year when the Ryder Cup comes back in 2027. And
What's going over there? Where is it next?
You're right. When it comes back in 2029.
Right.
I don't know where it is next.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, who's surprised? The whole buildup for this year was that, the New York fans, now everyone's like, oh, God, look at how they're acting. It's like, this is what you guys all built up in the media. Like, this is what it was going to be. I'm, not surprised at all. It's exactly how they were going to act, especially given the place we are in society and the place we are in this golf, what do you want to call it, industry, space. You're talking the pros, the tours, the media, the social media, the creators, all the stuff that makes this PGA show in Orlando hum, that we all put our lanyards on to walk around and act like this is the right direction this game should be going. This is the culmination of all that stuff. So are you surprised that these guys are acting like that out of pocket and bringing their Yankees, Red Sox rivalry, fight in the stands, East Coast, hoorah, BS to the ropes? I'm not surprised at all. We knew that was going to happen. The difference is those guys on the other side flipping the bird, yelling fuck you to the fans. I mean, that's the level that you can't cross. If you're the showman, if you're the sportsman, if you're on stage, the spotlight's on you, you can't all of a sudden turn into Will Smith and slap Chris Rock in the face with a tuxedo on. Tighten your shit up, dude. You're getting paid the big bucks. And I know they don't get paid for this, but come on, dude. Flying on your private jet, got millions in the bank. You're playing this game in this setting and in this arena with unbelievable history of what the Ryder Cup is. And granted, we had to expand it to all of Europe because we started kicking Great Britain's ass every time. Just remember that. They're not fighting for country. They're fighting for continent.
Yeah.
Which is cool, whatever. But, can we really be surprised about the fans? No. That's what we knew what we were going to get. The line that was crossed was the players' reaction to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think a lot of people are saying that.
No,
and
you're paid to have decorum. You're paid to keep your mouth shut. You're paid to, block that shit out. Could you imagine, if Kobe's at the free throw line to win the game and he's like stopping what he's doing and going over and pointing his finger. Like, what are you doing, dude? And you're a pro golfer doing this? You need to shut the fuck up.
Well, I don't mind if a golfer looks for a security guard to remove a fan, but I absolutely agree with you that Rory McIlroy turning around in one instance and saying, shut the F up to a group, and then at the end saying F you, F you, F you 3 times to people, and then going into the press room after they had won and
I'm
continued.
really effing good.
Yeah, and
Dude.
my question is, look, you as the fan do not need to call him out on this behavior because maybe you like it. Maybe you like when guys work blue. Maybe you like when guys go to a different level or show a different side of their personality. Personally, I don't like it. I don't like it because I'm not a guy that likes people swearing for the sake of it, especially people who sound really forced and awkward when they're swearing. I've always said you're a good swearer.
I feel like I am.
You are. You're one of the few people where when you say it, it sounds natural and funny. But most people, it sounds forced. And Rory definitely sounds forced when he does it. But again, that's subjective. So you, the fan, can decide whether or not you like professional athletes or people on a stage screaming obscenities. But the media, is there not one person in that room who wants to say, hey, Rory, you are from a place really close to where golf was invented and has even more history than America has with golf. You are part of a long line of players on the European Tour that have conducted themselves with respect and decorum. You consider yourself a student of the game. You just won the Grand Slam. You're going back to Augusta to pick the menu for the Champions Dinner. Do you think that you should be the one screaming F-bombs at the fans? And beyond that, did you take any inventory of the hundreds of people within earshot of your voice to see if there were any kids there? Because, spoiler alert, kids love Rory McIlroy. I have a kid that loves Rory McIlroy. And if I was in the crowd and Rory was shouting, shut the F up, that would be a major letdown to my kid and myself. And I don't think that that behavior is at all defendable. I don't think you can defend somebody yelling F you to a blanket group of people where there certainly were kids. And it got me thinking, and guys, I know how this sounds. I know it sounds like I'm just some giant old guy prude, but I don't want to pay the kind of money to go to a Ryder Cup to be subjected to my kids hearing that. I mean, aren't we supposed to be bringing kids to golf tournaments? When did golf tournaments turn into PG-13 rated R events?
It's just ESPN, Nike, tribalistic sports culture infiltrated the game to grow it to the masses. And you guys can all point the finger at me or try to die on that hill, but you know you're wrong. You know that was ugly. There was nothing about this Ryder Cup to be proud of on either side. And that's the direction this game is going. We've been screaming it for years that, dude, we don't need to coddle to your insecurities anymore. You want to express yourself, fine. But you bring the streetwear, the skate culture, the surf culture to golf, the sports culture, the jock culture, the former pros. You bring all this stuff in and you break down all of the foundation of what built it and made it golf. And you made it this way. And now this is what it looks like. There you have it.
Let me ask you this. Would you bring, and think about it, don't just jump into the answer, would you bring your family to the Ryder Cup?
Hell no.
What does that say about the Ryder Cup?
It's trash now. It's trash. And ironically, the PGA of America runs it. Here's an idea. Let's get the guys who put the worst major together every year to run this historic event. But look, back to Rory and all that crap. You can't be the guy that screams tradition and decorum for years against those live guys and saying how that's such a joke and then go out there and act like this. And on top of that, the number one player in the world who did not have his game this weekend beat you. So you're running around saying fuck you and saying I'm effing good in the press room and all this stuff. You lost today, dude. Head to head with the number one player in the world. Humble yourself, bro. You're raising the Ryder Cup, losing your singles match. Golfers in the past would know, like, I'm not the finals MVP here, so I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to raise this trophy and be the leader in the press room just because I'm number 2 in the world. Put the shine on the guys who earned it that yesterday and calm down a little bit, dude, because you are so out of pocket, dude. And I know we've said this in a joking way, and it's for entertainment for the most part, but there is some deep-rooted truth to a lot of the stuff we bark back and forth about, and I've been saying it for a long time. I think some people are finally coming around, but it's astonishing to me that there's still some of you on that Rory McIlroy hill. But how can you keep defending this guy, dude?
I think the people that would defend him this week would say they said things to him that were completely over the line. They had a hired comedian to warm up the crowd on Friday morning, chanting F you, Rory, on a microphone and getting paid by the PGA Tour of America. They may or may not have thrown a beer at his wife. They shouted Amanda Balionis rumors at him while he was playing. And so you might have some people that say, dude, they went over the line 50 different ways with this guy, and you can't get away from it in golf because the only thing that separates the fan and the player is a piece of rope. So what do you expect from him?
And here's my answer to that. Let's fast forward a couple years. We're going across the pond. Scotty Scheffler's our star player, number 1 player in the world, going over there. They're going to be, in a fan way for their team, rooting against Scotty and saying stuff. Are they going to say stuff to him on the same level in which they said it to Rory?
No.
And why is that?
If I had to make a blanket generalization, I would say that the European fans have far more respect than the American fans do.
It's because of who Scotty is and what he's engaged in and how he lives his life. Rory invited that stuff. He's been squawking for a long time. He's been the short little angry guy. And you want to enter in that arena, you better be able to wear the praise or wear the banter. And
do you think the banner was over the line?
100%. He asked for it. And then what did he do when he got it? More fuel to the fire. You want to diffuse that? You want to be the guy who's above all that? Do you have to step over the shot and say fuck you and then stick it to 5 feet? The G thing to do there is to step over it, stay in your thing, move your thing, go up there and stuff it and just walk and ignore those guys. That's how you shut those guys up.
Yes.
And that's my point. He gets that because he has asked for it. You guys just don't understand that he's been asking for it for a long time. But people are slowly starting to come around to realize that you don't want that kind of behavior. Quit squawking. Quit shaking the tree.
I think that
and be a better guy.
2 things can be true at the same time. He didn't deserve
it,
anything he got,
but he got it.
And his reaction to it was terrible. And no one's calling him out for that reaction. And again, to double back, I am just so disappointed as a former pseudo member of the media. People used to pride themselves in the media on asking hard questions and being the person that these guys didn't want to deal with. But now it's just so buddy-buddy. They're all in the same movies together, making cameos. They're touring around on this traveling circus together. The media is having as much of a moment with golf's new surge of popularity as the game itself is. And it seems to me like they don't want to shake that tree or betray that trust. And to me, it's not trust. It's just this unspoken agreement that you're going to be super soft on them because you have to see them next Thursday through Sunday.
Think about it like this, dude. we're small. We're a tiny little brand. And we get it all the time. Hey, shoot me some stuff and I'll post about it. You know, paid advertising.
Transactional exchange.
Transactional exchange. You don't think these guys all throughout the industry, Happy Gilmore's coming out. My agent just said that IMG Films said, here's what you need to post, here's your check, and you got to act excited and say you like this movie. That's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like a blind sheep, just acting like they don't see behind the curtain. It's like, bro, you know the Wizard of Oz is right there pulling all the strings. Quit acting like the curtain isn't there.
Yeah.
And that's the maddening part. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to have a take today about why they shouldn't have done this, this, and this. Look, dude, you slammed the trunks. You threw the clubs. You ditched the media when you didn't play good. You had the poopy diaper. You've said shit in the media for 3 years about this, that, and the other. You injected yourself into that world, and now you're going to be all F you because they're coming at you for it? Dude, shut your mouth. Play golf. Be like Scotty, and no one's going to squawk at you.
I would say shut your mouth, play golf, and then I would turn to the crowd and say shut your mouth, watch golf.
Totally agree. But my point remains. When you're on stage, you cannot engage and fall into the trap of the lowest common denominator.
Yep.
All you're doing is so next time it's going to be even worse because he broke the barrier and threw the bird. It's like it's game on now. So where does it go from here? The question isn't, was that cool or called for, or who was right, who was wrong? The question is, what's next?
Yeah.
What's the next one going to look like? I'll tell you what, I'm sick of all this. Look at how the Americans are acting in America. Dude, screenshot the continental United States and overlay that over Europe. How on earth could you throw us all into the same basket? We're a continent of diverse people.
Country.
It's pretty much a continent. I mean, I know we're connected to the hat and the shoes, but what are you going to do, you know?
Acknowledge that they're part of the continent.
They are, but I mean, come on. We got bald eagles and shit, you know? But no, seriously though, I grew up in Dana Point. People who lived 10 minutes inland from me were completely different. They had different slang words, different cultures. So you're going to take a bunch of rowdy New Yorkers and modern day golf / sports fans, and you're going to say, look at how the Americans are acting. That ain't us. We're too diverse. That'd be like, you know, look how the Euros are acting. It's like there's Spaniards there. There's Norwegian guys. There's guys from Great Britain. There's Irishmen. They're all different, dude. And so it's like, it'd be more accurate to be like, wow, New York having the tournament there and having that core fan base, that was wrong. Those guys were wrong. You know what I mean? But saying the Americans, it's like, bro, we don't stand for that. I was rooting for Europe because Keegan Bradley's a dork. And I'll stand by that.
Yeah, good for you. You'll also hear the counter argument that this was not a New York problem because people travel from all over to go to the Ryder Cup, and we didn't ID everybody yelling that
Guaranteed
stuff.
it was majority New York people.
Okay. I am more interested, I guess, in the case study of not what's coming next, but more how did we get here? How did we get to...
Isn't that obvious?
I have my theory on it.
Let's hear it. You love to hear it.
It's hard to articulate, but...
Right.
Sure.
Do you love it?
It's hard to articulate, but there's a degree of mob mentality and continuing to feed into people's psyches that they have something to live up to when they get to events like this. Oh, hey, you're going to the Ryder Cup? You better be loud. You better be drunk. You better get in those Europeans' heads because, you know, they get us every time we're over there. We got to get them while we're here. We got to defend our home turf. And social media just continues to build that up, but it's more than that. It's more than social media celebrating it. You look at YouTube golf, and the millions and millions and millions and millions of views that all those channels get. And then you look at the content that those channels put out. 9 fireballs in 9 holes, 36 donuts in 18 holes.
And even when it's not that, it's like they get back in the cart and there's a GoPro focus and they're just like, yeah, so like when you're hitting the high draw, like, oh yeah, it was crazy and this and that. And you're like, people enjoy watching this and listening to that?
Yeah, but
it's just as cringe as the fireball.
Yeah, but it's
2 golf dorks talking about how to shallow it? What are we doing, dude?
Yeah, but it's what's being marketed and celebrated to people everywhere they go. And then I'm not going to name this outfit by name. I don't want to go down a path that I don't want to go down, but pretty much anyone watching this knows that there is a group out there who has made a living off of showing up to golf tournaments and heckling people as they're about to hit the shot. Mm-hmm. And those people are applauded, followed, monetized, laughed at for what they're doing to the game. Hey, isn't this funny, showing up to a tee box and ripping on people right as they're about to take a shot? So you've got that. Then you wonder, how did Bob Does Sports get famous? Oh yeah, he went to tournaments and heckled pros. And then you turn on YouTube Golf and it's loud shirts and chest bumping and let's go. And this very adolescent, immature mindset of these jockey, bro-y chads who make a living off of getting drunk and acting like idiots. And all the people that are going to the Ryder Cup see this and they go, well, this is how we're supposed to act, right? I mean, I saw Happy Gilmore too. I watched Full Swing.
It's the current golf culture.
I turn on YouTube and everyone is dressing like this and acting like this, and I watch the Waste Management Open, and I'm supposed to be patriotic and defend it, and you just continue to light the Bunsen burner under the stupidest test tube of all time, and then it blows up. Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, what it felt like. It felt like we have been coaching the new golf population into acting exactly the way they acted. The PGA of America hired a social media influencer comedian to come out and lead the crowd in chants, and she ultimately devolved into F you Rory chants on the microphone and stepped down the next day because of it.
It's crazy, but are you really surprised? If you lay it all out like that, are you truly surprised?
I'm not surprised, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but I am very embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a golf fan. I'm embarrassed to talk about golf. And I think part of the reason why we stopped talking about golf the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months is because
there's nothing to talk about.
And the stuff that there is to talk about, do you even really want to be associated with it?
Yeah.
It's the same reason we don't talk about the NFL.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be associated with that.
It's cringe, dude. I'll tell you this. You know who loves it?
Who?
You know who's loving every dark step into the void right now?
Yes, I do. Augusta National.
Augusta National is loving it.
Yep.
And it's made me realize that it's something for us to love too, because what we're trying to build here and how we see the game, and I'm not saying this from like a moral Mount Everest, like I'm this like just Renaissance man or savant. It's just that this is just something that passionately drove us, and at the same time, golf is just driving off of a cliff. And you know, not from a financial situation, just from like a traditional something to be proud of, like hanging on to the great parts of what made golf good. We're there, and we can benefit from that, because this is a place to be proud of and grow and head towards. And Augusta National is on top of it all. Here you have a tournament that guys who are lucky enough to get the lottery to get in, they're taking a picture of the sign that says no cell phones. They're, posting about like the areas where you have to be quiet and be respectful. And they talk about how all those nuances of what they've built there, how those things are special. And they're all the opposite of every direction that every tour and Ryder Cup and pro and media outfit, it's the opposite of all of that. and it's still the best tournament and the coolest, even if they've changed it a little bit the past couple of years. So I say that again. Augusta National is loving this because it's just making their brand and their tournament, their mission, their values, they're just placing it all that much more special.
Yeah.
And it's the only week worth watching golf now.
You're right. And I thought about that exact same thing over the weekend, but with a tad bit more of trepidation. And the trepidation is the Ryder Cup is no longer sacred. It was. Mm-hmm. It was a historic event with a lot of patriotism and respect for your opponents. And what was happening inside of the ropes was so much better and more consequential and more important than what was happening outside of the ropes. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the case in the last couple of Ryder Cups, and especially not this one. Mm-hmm. So I'm now worried, is nothing sacred anymore, and how long before the gates of Augusta get trampled down? Because we have seen little inklings of it trending.
You're right. There's inklings. I can't imagine a full shift.
I hope not, because they have had an esports video game tournament at the clubhouse. They have had Dude Perfect out there to kick soccer balls around. They did put the Amen hat in the pro shop.
I get that. But, I mean, I'm talking about fan decorum, the feeling of sanctuary throughout the tournament. I think it's going to, if it does change, it's going to take a long time. And I think, back to my take on it, is that because this, in my opinion, is putting them higher up the pedestal, I think that they're smart. They run a well-oiled machine. I think they're taking really good notes on all this stuff, and they know that they don't want to they're going to make changes to be open in certain aspects, but I think they're also taking notes to, take good advantage of this situation.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because my second observation after this weekend in Augusta was we all can universally agree that it is so far above and beyond anything else going right now. So what does that tell us? That the masses, even the ones in the loud shirts, drinking Trulies and running each other over in golf carts and subscribing to meme pages and giving a thumbs up to everything Paige Spiranac does, even they know that tradition, decorum, and something that never changes, and golf protecting itself from the outside world ultimately yields the best product.
Yep.
So if that's true, if the Masters is the best because the Masters does all of those things, why can't we start seeing other entities protecting themselves? The Ryder Cup, to me, has always been like the fourth major. You've got the Masters, you've got the U.S. Open, you've got the British Open. What was that?
Fifth major.
What's the...
Oh, like you're taking PGA out of it?
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've got the Masters.
That almost went over my head.
It did go over your head.
I caught it.
You did. Yeah,
it was behind the catch.
Yeah.
It was behind the back catch.
Yeah. So you got the Masters, you got the U.S. Open, you got the British Open, and then you've got the Ryder Cup. But
even the U.S. Open has lost a lot of leg.
Well, the U.S. Open had people chanting USA at non-American-born players recently, which is just disgusting in golf. You're not rooting against opponents in non-team formats in golf.
Which, by the way, I know it's cute to think that this is Europe versus America. It's American-born players versus newly found Florida residents.
Go on.
All those guys live in Florida. That plane flight you saw with them squirting champagne on each other, you know where that flight was headed? Orlando. And they got picked up in black cars and driven to their behind-the-gates country club residences in Isleworth and all these places. They all live in Florida. These guys are Americans, dude. You think Justin Rose is a Brit? Really?
Really?
That guy is an American. Same with Rory, dude. Those guys go back over the pond one time a year, and it's for Christmas to see their mom and dad. It's the truth. Or the other times they go over is when the DP World Tour gives them an appearance fee to show up. And that's it. So, cool battle. What a bunch of countrymen.
We live in a world.
Where's your mail go, guys? I want to see everyone's mailing address on Team Europe.
We live in a world where we're so hell-bent on turning the volume up on everything. Everything has to have maximum hype, maximum exposure, maximum engagement. Everything has to be very loud and very proud. I want to go the opposite direction. I am looking to turn the volume down.
I want white noise.
Yes.
You know what one step up from white noise is? Smooth jazz.
Make golf smooth jazz again.
Please.
Just turn it down.
Please.
Let me ask you this, folks. We can all objectively agree that the comeback the U.S. was mounting yesterday was incredibly exciting and that every putt mattered and they seemed to be making every putt.
I know where you're going with this. Give it to me. I want to hear this.
I don't think
and you guys all want to hear it too. I think I know where you're going with this.
I don't think I'm going to land this plane the way you think I'm going to.
I think you are.
I was going to say that it would have been equally as great for all of us watching if half the crowd was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the volume down is fine because an exciting moment is organic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was organically getting excited watching that in my Top Dog chair. I didn't need the crowd or the chants or anything like that. I'm smart enough, and I think all of you are smart enough, to know when something is worth getting excited for. You don't have to manufacture it.
Here's the best comparison to what you're trying to say. Some of the greatest sound bite moments in championship golf were the ones where the commentator said one short sentence of a phrase and did this.
Just laid out. And that was Ryan pushing his microphone away. For
Lay it
those of
out.
you
You hear the crowd roar.
who aren't watching.
And you take a long-winded pause, and then as soon as the crowd starts going out, he comes back and just goes, wow, or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, golf doesn't need all yous squirting in the microphone all day.
Squirting in the microphone?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. All right.
But where I thought you were going with that,
Yep.
and I'll take it from here,
Please do.
is because we talked a little on off air before this.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic that Team Europe, which to most looked more together, it is a team event, right? And we're to believe that it's countrymen versus countrymen. We've already debunked that. But for the sake of entertainment, we go along with it and we let the flags fly. And isn't it ironic that in the team event, we absolutely get the kitchen floor mopped with us at every team event. And where we came back and made it interesting was what?
Singles. Yes.
What does that say?
We're not good at the team format. And I told you before we did this podcast, I was not going to acknowledge the U.S. win or tie had we have come back and had 14.5 points. Because if 11 of those points, or 10, whatever it was, is coming from singles play, then you didn't really win the team part of it. In fact, I would love to see the Ryder Cup figure out a way to make day 3 team events.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like when you and I go out to the member guest, we do team events for 3 days.
When you
and then
said that this
singles.
morning, it was like, whoa, that's a big hole in this process.
It is a big hole.
And you know what? You know why people are going to hate that take?
Why?
Is because the singles thing on Sunday is the excuse to act like the way they act, both inside and outside the ropes. That's the, come on, you suck. Blah, blah, blah.
You know, we have a rule in my house, and by we, I instituted the rule. I don't let my kids say, let's go.
Let's go is awful.
If you ever see a guy going, let's go.
You know what is the coolest, jockiest thing I've ever heard, though? And it was at the Derby from that super jockey guy that got invited by our friend Trip Hacker in Laguna Beach.
Care about it.
Yeah. He made a putt, turned to the whole crowd and went, care about it! I was like, I usually hate that kind of shit,
Yeah.
but that was probably the coolest one I ever heard.
Yeah.
Care about it.
Tony Bacardi loves saying care about
Yeah.
it because he was there and heard it, and he uses it facetiously, which I love. But a dude screaming, let's go, is like a mating call for an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Aren't you glad you didn't really have to watch the Ryder Cup?
I am. I'm also tired of being right.
Look, we talked about this before we started taping. There were a couple of ways to do it. Get off my lawn, or, hey, we've been right about everything, so come and give us our flowers. And we decided, can we just do this with a smile on our face? Because
And I am. I think sometimes people read it wrong because I'm good at delivering it in a very somewhat aggressive way or stern way. But it's entertainment to me. I really don't care. As soon as we're done taping this, you think I want to talk about the Ryder Cup anymore? Probably not.
no.
But
The
that
reason
being
we
said,
didn't talk about it before we started taping this was we didn't want to.
I've gotten feedback over the years or challenges, but you know what I've realized? What most of those challenges are is I disagree. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You can disagree, but the facts are the facts. And where have I been wrong on all this golf culture stuff? Look where we are. Everything is getting worse. And we're led to believe that it's the opposite of that. I'm saying it's not. And I'm proud to say it. And I have a lot of data to back that up. This tournament was a joke. They turned a fiery, historic battle of countrymen into the Waste Management Open. Congrats. And I still don't believe you that Happy Gilmore 2 was a good movie. I just have led myself to believe that I know that you got paid to say that. And I think that's wrong too.
Yeah.
So, again, go back, watch some episodes. We get paid tens of dollars for every one you watch.
Well, a little bit more than that.
And
thanks to Howie's Market.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. You can go back and watch the episode. Challenge you to find where I've been wrong. And I'll humbly agree if I have, but I don't think I have. And I'm not doing that from a egotistical standpoint. I would love to be wrong. I would love for this not to all be happening. But I'm also very... It's interesting to be in the position of being like, I'm not afraid to call this out. But boy, I wish I didn't have to. But at the same time, it's like, see, I told you so. I'd like it to change for the better. I'm not coming from it from a place where I'm like hating on any group of people or saying you're fools for doing it. It's like we're all on our own journeys of growth. And I'm seeing the opposite of growth. I'm seeing all you guys go to Never Never Land and fight with fake swords with Peter Pan. And it's stupid.
You ever heard the term garbage in, garbage out?
Yeah.
Or you are what you eat?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, what you put in is what you're going to get out. And so this is going to sound soapboxy, and this is going to sound drastic.
Let's do it.
But honestly, I would encourage anyone listening to this podcast who agrees or is starting to agree.
Sure.
Right. Unfollow any account on golf Instagram that is perpetrating this entire scene. You don't have to follow the meme pages. You don't have to hear the repetitive jokes. They've all been made before. They're all tired. And it is just breeding this culture that is such a kid's table in what used to be the gentleman's room.
Yeah. I guess I just was built different in the sense of when I get into things, I go down the rabbit hole, and I'm somewhat of not a history buff, but I love learning, consuming, and watching how things got to where they are, you know?
Student of the subject.
Student of the subject. And like for me, it's like going down the YouTube rabbit hole. Like my YouTube golf is like old Ryder Cups, Shell Wonderful World of Golf, the Skins game, you know, old Masters. Like I want to see when Arnie threw the red visor, and just like how the crowd like would chase after the ball in the hole, and just like what things looked like back then. Like how, remember like those old telecasts of Augusta, and it's all like misty and just like there's not even a lot of people there, you know, and you're just like, this is so cool. This is golf, you know? Instead, you're mic'd up trying to break 50 with women's clubs from the senior tees. Come on, dude. You guys know it's trash. And don't be mad at me for, you know, letting the cream rise to the top.
Sure.
Don't say I never told you so.
I'm done with the Ryder Cup. Are you? By that, I mean,
Hey,
I'm
the
done.
good news is next year we can talk about the President's Cup,
Yeah.
because that's a great event too.
I'm done talking about the Ryder Cup this year. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
I'll probably watch
Sure.
it in 2027. Hopefully there's a bit of a course correction.
Do you love it?
Yes. I also love that now that I'm taking just random notes in my phone, I get to throw these topics towards you. Your daughter, Palmer, came and spent the afternoon of Thursday with us last week.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thursday?
she told me she has asked you for a cat
Yeah.
and that you are considering it.
Well, the way it is phrased in our house is, when Arnie and Coco go to heaven, can we get a kitty? Sure, honey. By the time Arnie and Coco go, you know, it's like, she'll probably be moving out. So we'll dodge that bullet when we get there.
So you're not going to get a cat.
Hell no.
There's no way.
Not a chance.
No chance.
No chance. Zero chance. Zero chance we get a cat.
I bet that you have a cat in your house by the year 2028.
How much you want to bet?
$13.
Let's make it the current cost of a cat. Let's make the bet the current cost of a cat.
Where are you getting this cat from?
I don't know.
You can go to PetSmart and pay an adoption fee for $25 or go to a shelter, same deal.
Let's call it 100.
Okay.
$100.
$100.
You heard it here first, folks.
I don't remember what I said. By 2028?
Sure. There's no way. Not a chance.
Okay. I was listening to the podcast last week with my daughter in the car because I had a take about the book fair that I really wanted her to hear because she came back this year with 0 books and 1 toy.
Bag of candy.
So I played her the take about the book fair. And she then heard you talking about story time with your daughter. And after you dismounted the soapbox, she said, his jokes are really funny and his voice is really good.
You love to hear it. Did you love it?
I said, why don't we call him and you can tell him that? So you got a phone call from me
Yep.
on Thursday or Friday night, and you heard that from my 9-year-old daughter. How did that make you feel?
I mean, being validated is always great as long as you don't take it in the wrong form, you know, pride is an evil thing, as we've discussed. And so I don't want to filter that into my own ego or the pride of anything. That being said, when you hear something like that you already know, it doesn't carry as much weight as you maybe would have liked. But considering I'm trying to put that pride and ego aside anyways, it was, a very benign feeling.
Even from a 9-year-old girl who shares the same last name as me?
Yeah.
Because that hurts me more than it helps you.
Yeah, but what I know more is that I already knew that. And I already knew that she probably felt that way. But I really enjoyed and appreciated the confirmation.
School's back in session, which means my wife takes an after-school drop-off walk, which means on Tuesdays she listens to our Monday podcast. So she's back. She took the summer off. And so did we, frankly.
That makes me feel bad, dude. I'm cursing up a storm on this thing.
Well, that's between you and the Lord, not you and my wife.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay.
Anyway, we will address your cursing later with a little trip through Ephesians chapter 6.
Oh, man. Don't remind me of everything I need to work on. I'm trying to take a break right now in this podcast.
So my wife's listening again, and she got a big chuckle out of your Keurig joke last week. Something along the lines of, we have real American coffee out of the pot at my house, not K-Pod and the Demon Hunters over there in Fullerton.
Oh, man, that was a good one.
She thought that was great, and she also appreciated the me time versus me nah time.
That was a shout-out of a lifetime.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I know she appreciated that.
Getting a lot of credit from my family. Meanwhile, I get none. The only time I hear from my family about this podcast is my brother Aaron calling me to tell me everything that was wrong with it.
What's been wrong with it?
Oh, it's on my side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he still a fan of me?
I don't know.
Whoa, that doesn't sound like he is.
Well, he's too busy giving me notes about myself.
Okay.
But I'll ask him next time I talk to him.
Yeah.
I'll ask him about that.
I mean, not everyone likes an earthquake. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think he does. I think
some guys like riding it out.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at those windows.
For those of you interested, I'll make it quick. My first place soccer team that I am gaffing, a.k.a. head coaching, got another win this weekend. We won.
It was the last place team.
It was.
Oh, man, I'm too good at this.
You got to play the people in front of you.
Very true. Very true. Are you still undefeated?
We are. We're 4-0-1.
What was the one?
The tie at
that's right. The
first
tie.
game.
Yeah. The asterisk.
4 wins, 0 losses, 1 tie, still in first place. We won this game 6-1, and my daughter scored 3 goals.
Whoa, a little hat trick.
Little hat trick. She now has 6 on the season through 5 games. Got another player on the team who has 7.
Ooh.
There's a nice little Kobe Shaq going on there.
Who's the gaffer picking for the All-Star team? His own daughter.
You know what's funny is
Sure.
if I finish in first place, I am obligated to coach the All-Star team.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll come up for that game. The All-Star game.
I want you to come to the last game of the regular season, because the last game of the regular season is going to be a rematch of us
Versus that old lady?
versus that lady that lost her mind, and we were both in first place at the time, and then we overtook them, and we're going to meet them again for probably a game that decides first place. We've outscored our opponents this year 17-4. And again, I am swimming in uncharted waters here, folks. I am used to being on the opposite end of all of this stuff. So that's the soccer update. 4-0-1, top of the league.
How many more
undefeated.
games left?
5. We're at the halfway point.
It's anyone's game. Anyone's season.
Yeah. A couple of shout-outs. Shout-out to B-Max, Brian Maxwell, who made the trip down last week, hung out with us. Got a whole dose of your sailor's mouth. Now, why am I bringing up that Brian Maxwell got a whole dose of your sailor's mouth? Well, what does Brian do for his vocation? Pastor at my church.
Yeah. Some would say that I have a way with words, Adam. I'm a big delivery guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out to Craig Dunlap.
couple scary days. Craig's been in the hospital, but things are turning around, and I think he's coming out of it. So praise God.
Yeah.
Really, it's going to make Joel from Canada feel a certain way about it, but when you get the acute kidney, what was it? Acute kidney damage was the diagnosis. And, basically had the shits. I texted him and said, wow, you're really living up to that Craig Duncrap name. You can't make fun of your friends. Who can you make fun of, Adam?
So you're choosing to make fun of your friend, father of 4, who's on day 3 in the hospital?
Yep. Yes, I am. Yeah, I don't take it back. Love Craig. Think I like making fun of him more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's one of the only guys on earth that probably dishes it out to me more than I give it back to him. So, he's my anomaly,
Yeah.
in my life.
Sure.
And I love it. And it just goes to show that it's nice to wear some banter. You should take some notes, Rory. There's a cute photo. You guys can look it up.
Acute or acute?
Cute. Acute.
Not like acute.
Not acute.
Kidney
Acute.
damage.
I like how I led with because that's where I'm going with it. Cute photo up there before the singles match of Scotty and Rory. And, Scotty's 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. He's not, he's tall, but he's not a huge guy. But he's standing next to Rory on the first tee, and you just go, look, I'm not trying to body shame everyone or short shame guys. I'm not the tallest guy in the world. But my presence carries a lot more height than Rory's does, because when you see the photo of him next to Scotty Scheffler, you're like, now I kind of get the angry short guy complex this guy has. He just looks like a little wee man over there. Even his legs look small. You're like, it is amazing how far he hits the ball, though, being such a little guy. It's crazy. But, goes to show you this weekend over in our men's ministry retreat.
What a segue. From
One of our pastors who was there, he's our life group pastor. And he was actually the guy who, not this weekend, but prior to this, a couple of years ago, baptized me.
Hold for applause.
And his name's Adam Brown. And we were cracking up because Seth, who came on the trip with us this weekend, he went to high school with Adam. They're close buddies. And he was saying to me, because Adam is he's a ball of energy, and he's so fun. And there's this thing where they had to do this mancathlon, and they run up the lake on the last thing to the finish line, and all the guys hold pool noodles and hit the guys as they're coming in. It's like they go through the gauntlet. And he just figured a way to tie a knot with an extra pool noodle, and he just had a weapon, and he was just blasting guys, but in a good, funny way. But my point is he's a little guy, but he's got such energetic, positive energy, and he just adds to everything. And it just goes to show you have a choice when you're short. You can be the club throwing, trunk slammer, non-banter taking bird flipper, or you can be the fun, happy, energetic, positive guy. And I'll pray that Rory can turn his life around. Am I right? End of story, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen.
God works in mysterious ways, Adam. You know that? Especially with me.
I'm enjoying watching his very mysterious work with you. I'm enjoying it. It's great.
It's a wild ride.
Sure is. And I got a front row seat to it.
Mm-hmm.
You went from insulting someone's stature right into a men's ministry story. You brought Seth Willingham into it for no reason whatsoever, and then didn't explain to the audience who Seth is.
Oh, wait. That's what I meant. But Seth said at the thing, he's like, I can't believe that because he went to high school with him, he has the same energy and same, thing about him that he had then. He's had it all these years. It's, only gotten better, and it's just, incredible to see that,
Boy, that makes me want to talk about one last thing.
Let's do it.
This concept of energy. And Seth saying that his buddy back in high school has the same energy in his 40s that he had back then. I'd love that. I cannot get anywhere close to the energy that I used to have. And if I could have...
I feel like you have a lot of energy, like especially when you do podcasts without me. Like it's just you talking. It's very energetic.
Sarcasm. Lowest form of wit.
Your thoughts?
I'd give anything for more energy. And I think about how I was in junior high, high school, the college years, and how I am now.
Have you tried the grinds pouches?
Are you getting paid? And if you are, we split endorsements on this show. I give you half the Howie's check.
You're more of a grinder app guy to me.
Men's ministry retreat, guys.
We'll take that out. Sorry, Thomas. There had to be one this episode, right?
Hey, speaking of Thomas, he put out a wonderful video about
Right.
our friend Chris Fisher, a.k.a. Cousin Clubs. If you navigate over to Thomas Wrighton's YouTube page, you can watch that, or you can search for the video One Ball Down. And I actually am going to take that back. Maybe don't search for that. Maybe just go to Thomas's page and click on it.
Yeah, that was
That's the title of the video. But
that was a low form of wit right there.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I just realized that if people search for the name of the video, they might get some search results that they don't want, that I don't want them to go to.
In the business, some would say that what you just did right there was...
What are we going to do with that?
That's going to be a great bleep. I love when we get the comments like, we got to get transcript of all the times Engle's been bleeped on the show.
Yeah, no, we don't, because I want to continue doing the show.
Oh, that's true.
Gets bleeped for a reason. But
It's all fun and games.
I was
guys.
actually just thinking, holy cow, this is going to be the one time where we can just stop recording and I can upload as is. Now I got to go and edit.
Yeah. Well, got to make plans.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to The Fellowship. We will talk to
See you next time.
next Monday.
There's a lot. It's been said many times that we'll see you next time.